Let's get started. Start with listening, and then learn new words and practice them in sentences.
Have you ever wondered how to ask for a different size in English? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the world of shopping vocabulary. This is crucial because, let's face it, shopping is a universal language, but knowing the specifics can make your experience much smoother. Let's kick things off with some key terms. First, we have checkout. This is the place where you pay for your items. Then there's receipt. This is the piece of paper you get after making a purchase, proof of your transaction. Next, we have discount. This is a reduction in the usual price of an item. And finally, try on. This is the phrase you use when you want to test the fit of clothing before buying. These words are your tools for a successful shopping experience. Use them wisely and they'll serve you well. Remember, knowing these words will make your shopping experience much smoother. Now that you're familiar with some shopping vocabulary, how do you ask for specific items? It's a question that often pops up, especially when you're shopping in an English-speaking country. Let's break it down together. Imagine you're in a store, and you found a jacket you love, but it's not in your size. What do? Well, you'd want to ask a store staff if they have the jacket in your size. And how would you do that in English? You'd say, "Do you have this in a different size?" Let's dissect this phrase. Do you have is a polite way to inquire about the availability of something. The word this refers to the item you're interested in. In our example, the jacket. In a different size is self-explanatory. You're asking if the item is available in another size. Now let's put it into context. You approach a staff member holding the jacket and say, "Excuse me, do you have this in a different size?" Simple, right? Let's try another one. Suppose you're looking for a book, but you can't find it on the shelf. You could ask a staff member, "Do you have this book?" If you know the title, you can replace this book with the name of the book. For instance, "Do you have To Kill a Mockingbird?" You can also use this phrase to ask for different colors of an item. For example, "Do you have this shirt in blue?" or "Do you have these shoes in black?" Remember, the key is to be polite and clear. If you're unsure about the pronunciation of a word, don't be afraid to ask for help or use your phone to look it up. And there you have it. The phrase, "Do you have this in a different size?" is your new shopping buddy. With this phrase, you can confidently ask for different sizes, colors, or even specific items. So the next time you go shopping, remember this phrase. Practice it, use it, and before you know it, you'll be shopping like a native English speaker. With this phrase, you'll never have to worry about finding the right size again. Opening. What about when you want to know how much something costs? Let's dive right into it. The most straightforward way to ask for the price of something in English is to simply say, "How much does this cost?" It's a universal phrase understood by shopkeepers and sales assistants worldwide. But what exactly does each part of this phrase mean? Let's break it down. The word how is used in questions to ask about the amount or degree of something. Much is a term we use to indicate a large amount or degree of something, and in this context, it refers to the amount of money required. Does is a helping verb here, helping to form the question. This is a pronoun referring to the item you're holding or pointing at, and finally, cost is a verb that refers to the amount of money needed to buy or do something. So when you put it all together, "How much does this cost?" is a polite, simple way to ask for the price of an item. Now let's see how you can use this phrase in a conversation. Imagine you're in a clothing store and you found a beautiful shirt, but there's no price tag. You can approach a sales assistant and say, "Excuse me, how much does this shirt cost?" Or if you're in a grocery store and you're unsure about the price of a bag of apples, you can ask, "How much do these apples cost?" Another useful phrase is, "What's the price of this?" This question is just another way of asking, "How much does this cost?" Sometimes you might want to ask about multiple items at once. In that case, you can say, "How much do these cost?" when you're holding multiple items, or "How much are these?" when you're pointing at a group of items. Remember, there's no need to feel shy when asking for prices. It's a normal part of shopping, and it's better to ask than to be surprised at the checkout. Closing. Now you can confidently inquire about prices during your shopping adventures. Interacting with store staff can be a challenge, but it doesn't have to be. In today's shopping adventure, we're going to learn about making small talk with store staff. Small talk is a casual conversation about everyday matters. It's not just idle chatter. It helps to build rapport and foster a friendly environment. Let's start with a common scenario. You enter a store and an employee approaches you asking, "Can I help you find anything today?" If you're not ready to ask for help, you can say, "I'm just looking." This phrase is a polite way to convey that you're browsing and don't need assistance at the moment. Now let's break this phrase down. I'm is a contraction of I am, and just in this context means simply or only. Looking refers to the act of viewing or examining something. So when you say, "I'm just looking," you're essentially saying, "I am simply viewing items right now." Another situation is when you found what you need and a store staff has been particularly helpful. You can express your appreciation by saying, "Thank you for your help." This phrase is a courteous way to acknowledge someone's assistance. Let's dissect this phrase. Thank you is an expression of gratitude. For is a preposition used here to indicate the reason for your thanks. Your help refers to the assistance provided by the other person. So when you say "thank you for your help," you're saying, "I express gratitude for the assistance you've given me." Remember, these phrases aren't just about the words used, but also the tone in which they're delivered. A friendly smile and a warm tone can go a long way in making your shopping experience more pleasant. In summary, "I'm just looking" is a polite way to indicate that you're browsing, while "thank you for your help" is a gracious way to show appreciation for assistance received. With these phrases, you can politely interact with store staff and get the help you need. Let's recap what we've learned today. We've taken a deep dive into the world of shopping in English, covering key phrases and essential vocabulary that will help you navigate stores with ease. We started with how to ask for specific items using phrases like, "Do you have this in a different size?" This phrase will come in handy when you need something that fits just right. Next, we tackled prices. Remember, how much does this cost? Is your go-to question when you're unsure about the price of an item. We also familiarized ourselves with important vocabulary such as checkout, receipt, discount, and try on. These words are the building blocks of any shopping conversation. And don't forget the art of small talk with store staff. Polite expressions like "thank you for your help" and "I'm just looking" can go a long way in making your shopping experience pleasant. Remember, practice makes perfect. Keep practicing these phrases and you'll be a pro at shopping in English in no time.
Let's learn new words and practice English at level A2. Customer. Customer, a person buying goods or services. Example, the customer is looking for a new jacket. Shop assistant. Shop assistant, the person who helps you in a store. Example, the shop assistant showed me where the shoes are. Price. Price, how much something costs. Example, what is the price of this sweater? Size. Size, the measurement for clothes or shoes. Example, do you have this shirt in a larger size? Fit. Fit, to be the right size and shape. Example, these jeans fit well.